get on to the reviews. Did you have any reviews this week?
I binge read Batman Curse of the White Knight. I read book 5, book 6, and book 7. And I'm not going to go heavily deep into these, but again, I will say...
Okay.
Yeah. And wait, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, 5, 6, and 7. People should be reading this. I don't feel like the comic book community is talking about Curse of the White Knight, and you should be.
It's one on my list. So I should be reading at the moment.
I don't even want to spoil it for you. Like, you just find out things about, because you know this. They went into it a little bit in the last series, but in this series they're going heavily into the Wayne, the Wayne history, and just the secrets that come out. The secrets that come out, you're like, ooh, like just. And there was something that the Joker knew. So Batman and Harley Quinn go to see the Joker to see if they can get Jack Napier to come out and get the information from him. And Harley gets to speak to Jack Napier when Batman isn't there, and he gives some information. It's like, oh, there's also something else. There's like this painting on the wall in blood. I'm not going to tell you what it says, but it's like it changes everything for Batman. Like whatever you think of Bruce Wayne, the Waynes, and Batman, that one thing written on the wall changes everything. Wow. It's so sick. And in one of them, there was a nice little hint because all the Batmobiles have been destroyed. So this is just something that happened that I thought was cool. All the Batmobiles have been destroyed, and there's one left. And I was thinking, which one is it going to be? And he goes, and it's the one from 1989 movie. And he says, I always liked this one. And then Montoya's like, this one's decades old, and the Joker's got all this kind of technology. Azrael's got all this kind of modern technology, and this one's decades old. And she's like, "What, you nuts?" And he gets behind the wheel and he's like, "Let's get nuts," which is like a nod to the the '89 movie. That's the other thing I love about Sean Murphy's writing. He's clearly a fan of like old school Batman. It's like he's got everything old school from Batman and put it in this. Even Gotham Nightfall, where Bane breaks Batman's back and then Azrael becomes Batman for a bit. There's little nods to that because Azrael and Bane have a fight. Bane's about to break Azrael's back and then he doesn't do it. The fight ends for Azrael's favor, but then Azrael ends up wearing similar Batman outfit that he wore in Nightfall. It's sick. There's so much going on, and Azrael's history is exposed in this a bit as well. And you're like, it's like Azrael's fighting to be the hero of the city to take over Batman, and you might think maybe it's a bit warranted when you have to read it. But it's really good. I definitely recommend this book. I think there's about 3 more to collect, and I know this is going to stick the landing. Sean Murphy is just sick with what he does. I can't wait for the new ones he's going to release. We spoke about last week as well.
Yeah, definitely I need to catch up on that. I need to read that, man. Definitely. Get on it.
Sick.
What I read this week was Doctor Doom issue 6. Man, this was one of the best Doctor Doom / Kang stories I've ever read. I'm gonna go through it with you. So spoilers, So basically, what's happened is there's basically a city on the moon that they're trying to solve, like what's the crisis? The climate change crisis, and basically the missiles was shot to that city on the moon, and it came from Latveria, so 3,000 people died. So Doom is obviously the suspect. He went into hiding. He came back and found out that it's probably someone else. So he came back and then run off again. So, and during this time, while he's on the run, you got Blue Marvel trying to look for him, Sable and Victorious, who's his second in command, who's Doom's second in command. So they're all trying to get Doom for different reasons, but he's pretty much in hiding. And during this time, Doom is basically he's starting to get visions of a future of himself with a family and a kid as well, and a wife named Fruzina. And while this is happening, he keeps Kang the Conqueror. He keeps like popping into the present, and he's like he's talking to Doom. He's like, "Oh, you got to do this." Like, you got to do this. Oh, what's going on? Because every time Kang pops in, it's like years in the future for Kang, but it's like a few days or a few weeks for Doom. So every time he pops in, he's kind of like readjusting, like, this again. Oh yeah. So blah blah blah. So in this issue now, Kang and Doom, they're kind of on the run, and they're on the train, just sitting in one of the trains, and Doom's like, Kang's like, are we going to talk about it? And Doom's like, talk about what? He's like, you know what? He's like, I don't, Kang, enlighten me. And he's like, our blood relation. So if you don't know, there's speculation. And one thing that's good with Kang the Conqueror is that you don't really know who he is. So there's speculations that he is not sure what that was. Sorry.
That was weird. When they talks,
did you hear that?
I heard like there was a weird little kind of skittery, a static noise. Yeah.
So anyway, so Kang, we don't know whether Kang is actually related to Reed Richards, or if he's actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say when there talks of him being related to Tony Stark as well.
Yeah,
or something.
Tony Stark, or even Doctor Doom as well. So that's what this conversation is pretty much about. He's like, so he's like, our blood relation. Doom's like, I don't see the point. He says, to cure boredom, we're still 2 days away from our waypoint. And basically, Doom's like, it must be. Sorry, what does he say? So he's like, I've been waiting for you to blink out of existence at any moment, because he's always blinking in and out, and he's kind of like he's you never know how long he's going to be there. So they're talking about the expansion, because basically what's happened on this place on the moon, Attilon, there's a black hole there, so they're trying to figure out how to destroy the black hole and save the world, basically, because the black hole is just going to expand and expand. And while the train's coming, you can see like 2 old guys on like on one of these ledges that are trying to jump onto the bridge, onto the train. So Doom and Kang is talking, and then the door opens, and the guy's like, greetings gents, name's Tom, mightn't I share this car with you for the evening? And you just see them both look at him like, oh, come on man. And he flies off. So later on that day, Doom and Kang, they're by a fire cooking up something, and Doom's like, sorry, I just got to fix this a second. Doom's like, I've heard rumours that you're Reed Richards' father. And Kang's like, I've heard that too, but he looks nothing like me. And then Doom's like, neither do I. But this is like later on in the day, so it seems like these two are kind of having 2-word conversations every 2 hours or something like that, or 5 hours. So Doom's like, neither do I, and Kang's like, neither do you what? It's like, I too look nothing like you. He's like, oh. Then they have like, he says, I'm not your father. And Doom's like, I know you're not. Perhaps I'm yours. And Kang's like, preposterous. Doom begat Kang, who begat Nathaniel, who begat Reed. Bah. Doom begat Costin and Duru. Who? Onward. So Duru and Kostu are Doom's children that I don't really know too much about. I've tried to research that, but there's...
Yeah, I didn't know Dr. Doom had any kids.
There's a kid that... who was the last person that was writing Doom? I'm sure it was that Dan Slott. He was writing Doom, I think so.
Dan Slott, yeah.
And he had a child basically, and nothing's happened since then.
I didn't know none of that.
So basically, what's so funny about this is just their conversations and what they're having. I'm not telling it right. I'm actually telling it pretty crappily. But the way these two, because they're in different situations all the time, and when they meet, because they got to get somewhere, they got to get to a place and wait for someone. They got to wait for a MacGuffin basically. And during their journey, they're just talking about stuff, like it's very interesting stuff as well, like, and just the attitude between them as well, because obviously Doom is like speaks to himself in the third person, and his attitude, and same with Kang as well. They kind of got the similar attitude, so the dialogue in this is just sick.
You can imagine, because both of them think or both believe that they're better than the other. So that kind of conversation with two people who think that they're better than the second person, that must be sick writing, actually, and make for sick dialogue.
And then during this as well, you actually get like two C-class villains trying to assassinate them basically. And you're like, what are these two doing there, kind of thing. But actually, something really funny happens between that as well. Then basically, the guy with the MacGuffin comes, and when you see what the MacGuffin is, you're like, oh shizzle, this just got serious. And it's one you gotta read, man. I've stopped because I can't really, I can't explain it. I can't go into it, and I'm not giving it any justice. So
I didn't realize there were already 8 issues into this, man. I thought it was
6 issues.
Less than that, to be honest.
6 issues. Yeah.
Oh, is it 6 issues? Oh, okay. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Okay. And it even ends pretty well as well. Like, it ends with a phone call to Reed Richards. And
Oh, okay.
So definitely pick this up if you can. Doctor Doom issue 6.
Yeah. That's sick, man. Sick. Go out and get you a copy of issue 6 of Doctor Doom.
Yes, sir.